Welcome to the No Hangover Podcast.
Boom.
Oh my goodness.
It's just us today. This is how it's going to be for a little bit. Well, no, we're going to have more guests on and shit like that, but
Yep.
good old Dennis is on to conquer bigger and better things.
Episode 154. Let this be known. First episode without the producer.
The voice of reason.
Honestly.
Big
The one who makes this show
possible, really.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, real shit. Without him,
the one who did the show for 4 years now. The one who's been holding down the fort.
Real shit.
Old Faithful. Mr. Consistent. Never missed a fucking episode.
Real shit, because
a real Iron Man of
without him, there would be no
there'd be no podcast.
Yeah, because none of us up until recently have really known how to work all this mumbo jumbo.
I turned on the camera today.
We're getting places.
Yeah. I want my flowers now. No,
shout out to Dennis. You know, he knows there's always a spot here for him whenever he's ready to come back. But he's on pursuing his dream, doing what he wants to do, doing what he loves to do, and that's what we fucking love. That's what we promote here. Yep. Fucking do what you love, and we love doing this. So
pretty much, yeah. And we keep on. The show keeps rolling.
Sure does.
The show keeps rolling.
Sure does.
This is it's a great time in our history, honestly, because every member of No Hangover Podcast has now, well, Dennis is currently experiencing it, but every member of the No Hangover Podcast has lived out of the state.
Yep.
So it's good to, spread your wings, get away from home,
see what's out there,
grab life by the horns, see what happens.
Real shit. It's
and like Eric said, I mean, Dennis knows what's good. This is his home, so whenever he wants to come back, whenever he is coming back, he'll be on episodes here and there. I mean, he comes down and visits, but for the meantime, me and Eric gonna keep the show going.
Gonna hold down the fort. You already know.
On another note, everyone, I think I told you all this last week, right? I'm pretty sure I told them.
I don't know.
To wish my boy a happy birthday.
Yeah. I don't know if you did tell him, but
I thought I did. But if you didn't, wish my boy a happy motherfucking birthday.
Hey guys,
the good old curly headed fuck over here turned 29.
Oh man,
how's it
29.
feel?
Feels the same as 28. It's probably gonna feel the same when I turn 30. But I mean,
not gonna lie. Don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? That's when your testosterone starts dropping and all that shit. But
maybe.
I
get more sleep during the day.
That too. But, I have a high testosterone level as it is, so maybe, But I feel good. I woke up rather emotional in the morning, not gonna lie. Like not in like a negative way, in the sense of like, just feeling super thankful, super blessed, with the people I have around me, my friends, my family. People that have supported me, throughout my life, friends that I've made up until this point and all that shit. And yeah, so I mean, I do that little cleanse at the beginning of the month until my birthday. And
so for those of you that haven't known, I'm explaining his story for him, but this boy takes a good 3-week cleanse every year. For
7 years now. This is the 7th year. No drinking,
3 weeks
no
straight.
Smoke. No type of smoke, so that's no weed, no fucking hookah, no fucking vape. Not that I really vape that much anyways, but like nothing.
Keeps the lungs pure.
Yeah, so
or tries to re-purify them in 3 weeks. Tries to re-purify them, gives his liver a break. Because at No Hangover, we don't drink that often, but
when we do it in excess.
We drink Dos Equis. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I just, especially this past year that I've mentioned before, it's been a very trying past year from around like the beginning of this month last year to about, the beginning of this month this year. There's just been, a lot of shit that, just life, things thrown at me, things like that. So, I've definitely done a lot of, a lot more growing up and a lot more maturing and, just kind of growing into myself as a man and things like that. And it's kind of weird how you like feel yourself like becoming a man sometimes or becoming an adult.
Yeah, it's a weird transition because I mean we've thought we were grown already. So like,
well, you think you're grown when you're fucking 15 years old.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it happens multiple times in a man's life where you go through something or it's mostly the reflection afterwards that's when like, okay, I see my progression. Yeah. Like, I see how I grew up through this. I see how I've handled shit differently. And sometimes it's for the better. Like, I see how I've done shit better.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I'm doing good. Like, keep this positivity, keep this train rolling, you know?
Yeah. And it's been nice to, you know, also hear it from certain people that, you know, they've noticed, you know, my growth. They've noticed my maturity and things like that. So it's, you know,
I mean, I
could
attest to it. I'm proudest of you for this year, for example, of go ahead and full on betting on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been, like you said, a trying year for you, and I know it has. I know pretty much better than most.
Okay, we're good. We're back. We back. All right.
Start there.
Yeah.
I know pretty much better than most.
That it has been a trying year for me. It has been, and you know, like I said, I just hearing it from certain people and feeling like I'm starting to live up to certain people's expectations has definitely, you know, it makes me feel good. You know, I'm not gonna say that. I know we talk about not needing validation and things like that, but you know, when you hear things from certain, you know, family members, certain friends, people that you look up to, people that you admire, you know, that shit does hit a little differently, and it does make you feel like, you know, you're doing something right, like you're moving in the right direction. So, yeah, I mean,
like I said, I don't know exactly where I left off. For the people who see the video, of people who listen to the audio, we had a mini technical difficulty right between my fucking great point I was making. But all I can say is I'm very proud of you, very proud of my boy, and keep doing what you're doing, man. Follow your dreams, follow your passion. I mean, in trying times, you still were willing to bet on yourself. And, I mean, if that doesn't tell people, like, what kind of character, who you really are, I mean, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Literally guns ablazing. You're like, fuck it. Run it.
Going in head first.
Run it.
Yeah. So it definitely has been, you know, it's been scary. There's been, you know, I've had that feeling of like, fuck, like, am I making the right decision? Like, should I be doing this? Should I be, you know,
that's when you know you are.
Did I fuck up? You know, just that, you know, those little doubts that creep in. And, I just, you know, once I'm able to, you know, kind of talk to myself and, you know, I don't want to say justified in my head, but like, you know, kind of understand that I know what I'm doing. There's a plan in place. It's not like I'm just fucking out here winging it and just kind of having my fingers crossed.
Not just shooting from the hip, but
yeah.
I mean, this was stuff you had planned for, you know, multiple years. This isn't like a new thing. You had planned a certain way and just were working on the preparations of how you were going to get it done. But it was always going to be that initial leap to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you finally took that, it was in a very trying time in your life. And that's like when, like I said, I can't be more proud of you because it's a scary time to do it.
Yeah. Which, you know, in that, like I thought
there was consistency with the inconsistency.
Well, there was that, but like there's times where I thought like I was taking a leap and taking that leap of faith. When in reality, I was still kind of playing it safe and, you know, trying to justify it in my head that like, right. Oh yeah, this is it. Like, yeah, I'm doing it. Like I'm taking that chance. And like, when in reality, like there was still times that, you know, when I'm, you know, just, you know, having my me time thinking and shit, like, it's like, I know I'm not doing it. I know, like, if I really, where you wanted to be. This is not like the leap of faith. This is this is like a hop. This is like dipping my toe in the fucking pool. Like, this is, you know, I'm still kind of feeling it out. And then I got to the point where it's like, all right, things are kind of settling down. You know, the dust is kind of settling. I can, you know, there's clarity a little bit. There's, you know, and support from other people, you know, from, you know, family members, from friends and shit like that. Then I'm like, okay, now I really, you know, I am really going to go balls to the wall and fucking do it. And, you know, worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. At least I gave it a fucking try. It's not like it's the end of the world, like things like that. But like, I feel like I would be more upset with myself if I never tried it at all. The way that I know I like to try things and go in all the way. And, you know, it's, you know, God forbid, but if it was my time to go and I didn't try like I knew I can, or how I know I can, or how I like to, like, go all full in with something, you know, that probably would have been my biggest regret.
That's what I was going to say. That's why it's like, so, you know, I am impressed, but I'm just, you know, so proud of you because it's like most people, and I'm not talking about like our friend group or like people we know. I'm talking about just the world. Most people aren't willing to do something you did in a time where they don't know, for example,
a lot of uncertainty.
Like,
still,
yeah, like
essentially.
you don't like. Granted, you had some consistent with it, so it like gave you the opportunity to do it.
Mm.
But it's still a very big leap of faith, and some people aren't willing to bet on themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of the world is not willing to bet on themselves, and you took the chance. I mean,
and to put some context behind it, like, you know, I was at a job in my field that I thought I wanted to do, something that, you know, not that I thought I wanted to do, something that I do want to do in training, in the gym, in the fitness industry and things like that. And, you know, certain things happen. I did take that job because, you know, I would like it, but, you know, for more so for other people, you know, to, you know, let other people know that I'm fine, to, you know, for security purposes, things like that. And then, you know, just some things happen in my life where, you know, those kind of, just dropped the whole thing in there. Some things happen in my life where I didn't have to, you know, I could focus more on myself and make myself the main, you know, the main concern, the main focus in my own life. And, you know, stop. One of my biggest things, and I've said this before, is that I want to be my own boss. I don't want to have to, you know, clock in for somebody else. I don't want to have to be on somebody else's time. Like, I don't want that shit. Like, I know to an extent you have to, but, you know, I'm to the point where it's like, you know, there's not going to be many more times in my life where I can, you know, again, take this chance and really focus in on what I want to do and hone in on what I want to do to the fullest extent. And so, you know, ended up quitting my job. And yeah, I've been, you know, my laptop has been my best friend for the past, you know, 3 weeks.
well, what I was also going to side note to that, as well as what you were just saying, was that, and we had talked about this when you even took the job, you quit your, you know, somewhat stable, but not very, like, you could tell you weren't, you know, you weren't being used to your potential at your last job, right?
Yeah.
So you quit, and we even talked about it before you got your new job. You knew it was going to be a stepping stone. Mm-hmm. It was never going to be your, you know, this is what it is. It was a stepping stone.
Yeah.
But you stepped on that stone and realized real quick, all right, I did, you know, this is part of the progression, but fuck this little step. If I'm going to go for it, I'm going for it. And that's why, like I said, I mean, I'm very proud of you. I can't say it enough, because, like, you did the damn thing.
I'm currently in the damn thing right now.
Yeah.
We'll
and
see.
I know the
How
damn
shit
thing
turns
is
out.
going to be a little scary. I know there's going to be times where, like you said, you're going to question it. There's going to be times where you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
But as, you know, as one, as a man, and just two, as like who I know who you are and what your potential is, you had to do this. You had to go full on. You had to go balls to the wall, because if you didn't, you might have regretted it. And not just you regretting it, but like, I feel like that's the biggest shame in people, when they don't live up to their potential.
Yeah, and that's probably my biggest fear in life. It's not living up to my own potential. Not anyone else's, just like not feeling like I, you know, like I said, at least took the chance to try and fulfill my full potential.
Because it's not on what anyone else thinks. I mean, I'm not over here saying like, oh, because, you know, and don't get me wrong, if you're very family oriented, if you're friendship oriented, whatever the case may be, you know, let that be. Bygones be bygones, whatever. But when someone like has a certain box they put you in, I love to be the one that like makes sure I'm outside of that bitch at all times. Like, oh, this is where you thought I was gonna be? Nah, that ain't me. And like, and it granted, and we all take different approaches to it. I mean, I'm so proud of Eric, because, for instance, I've done something, you know, like me moving to Washington was something. It was a stepping stone, but it was a stepping stone in that direction. Yeah. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be my forever thing, but it was just to get, you know, honestly, it was to test my boundaries, to test where I was as a man at that point. Because I was a kid still. I was 23. I was 23 years old. I moved out there by myself, lived an hour away to the closest person I knew. And by the way, this person I knew was the only person I fucking knew in Washington. Shout out to Ray. But like, without Ray, I had nobody fucking in Washington. It was whatever shit happened to me was going to be on me. Yeah. And I wanted it and needed it, because I was like, I need to do this. This is like, it's me being me. And crazy, you know, This doesn't have to go with the Washington story. It kind of is like a random thing that happened to me today. Figured out I'm a people pleaser. I didn't know this till today.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you just not figuring this out for real?
Just now figuring this out.
I could have told you that. Fuck.
Apparently, a lot of people could, but I didn't know this.
Shit.
I thought I was just being a nice guy. I look up the definition of people pleaser, and just in case anyone hasn't looked up the definition, a people pleaser is typically someone everyone considers helpful and kind. I was like, oh, motherfuck. Like, son of a bitch.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
It's not a bad thing, but, and I'm not saying I'm not, I'm going to be more reserved and not try to help everybody. Because, like, my thing is in life, I've always tried to do that shit. So that's why it was just ironic that it was like, oh, this is true. Because I've always wanted, like, my friends, like Eric, Jordan, Dennis, like Ryan. I mean, the list goes on and on. I could list off everybody I know, honestly. I've wanted them to, like, succeed in whatever they want to succeed in, even if it came before my own. Because, like, I know where I'm going to get it. Like, that's the thing about me and about all of my friends. Like, I know we have the potential to do something. It's just making shit happen. And especially for me, like, I know what I'm capable of. Have I done it to my full extent? No, not yet, but my time is coming. You're living in my golden year. I got a year and a half to get there. But 29, that's going to be my golden fucking year. Y'all better watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
You got some time to prepare yourselves. But the world is not ready for Jacob's golden year.
Oh, fuck. Hopefully the groundwork we're laying now is going to be.
This is the groundwork.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's going to be by that time that we get there, then we'll look back at this and be like, wow, like and that's the thing too. Like
episode 154, y'all might not realize this is a monumental thing. Like we said in the beginning, just for us to put on this episode without Dennis is fucking crazy. That's a crazy thing in its own. Because Dennis is the heart and soul of No Hangover Podcast. But, like, just for us to keep fucking doing it is wild. So,
well, and it's funny, too, because, like, I've always, like, my grandfather was a media and communications professor at UCF. Like, and so, like, I remember going to the campus, going to him with work and shit like that, and going to where they film their news anchor stuff. Yeah, bro. And, like, I remember that shit vividly.
Huh,
and, I just never. It got to the point where sports kind of took over, and that's what
fucking passion has been sitting in front of you your whole life,
right? And that's the wild, and that's the wild thing, bro. That's the wild thing. Like sports took over at once I started playing sports, and I you know more better than anyone that I have that competitive.
Oh yeah, I mean like, that's a man thing for sure. But
so like when I was playing sports, like that really took over, and that's where my passion was. Like I really was really into it, and I know I kind of put I played instruments growing up. I played the bass guitar growing up. I dabbled in piano and shit like that. More so in like I guess my later years, but in my early 20s to now, that's when I started. But like. When I went to college, my major was media and communications. Like that's what I was going to major in. So like, It is kind of funny how, life kind of has come full circle, and now like, it went from, that's what my grandfather did. That's what he was doing. And now like, I'm here trying to do my own thing, and
I mean, you got a
trying
year
to make it happen. So
you got a year, buddy. So you turn 30, you got this year to really prove everyone. You'd be like, look what the fuck I'm doing.
And that's the thing too. Like once I started that. And that's the one thing, like, once I started, like, using it and learning this, like, it doesn't take me long to pick it up. But, like, me personally, I learn a lot better when someone is teaching me. Like, I can watch videos and shit, and I can learn that way.
You're more of a feel it out.
I retain it more when I have somebody there with me that I could ask questions.
Is that a verbal learner, or is that I forget the types of learning, honestly. I know it's, like, visual learners. There's, like... verbal learners, like someone can hear it and learn it, someone can see it and learn it.
No, I'm more of a
in between. Like I don't really learn shit like that.
Yeah, so. I need to be more hands on, but I also need to have somebody there that I could just sit and ask questions, even if it's like the simplest questions. More of just to kind of like I know that I'm doing it, but just
you
to
second guess yourself,
reassure. Yes, it's like this is it, right? This is how I do this, right? Like if I need to, delete this and add this here, this is how I do it, right? Yeah. And just kind of like reassurance, and then once
had a little bit of all because like. When it comes to schooling and learning, like I could see something. For instance, I'm very attentive. Mm-hmm. So like I pick up shit no one even realizes. They're like, how did you notice that was moved 2 inches? It's like I'm weird like that. I just see shit, And I don't know if it's because I'm in construction. I don't know if this was just the way I was born, the way I was programmed. I don't know what the fucking case may be. But like in school especially, anything on the board, I'd remember it. Like I would learn it like that. I would remember it. But when it came to applying certain things, I'd have to feel shit out and I'd have to do it on my own. And like what's ironic is like most people, math is like their jugular, right? That's the hard thing for them. Math.
I suck at math.
Numbers.
I fucking suck at math.
My ass is completely different. Math came fucking so natural to me. Like, to give y'all a background story on how good at math I was, I was held back in elementary school. I was held back in first grade. So in first grade, I was held back, year younger, working with my sister. Like, I went in my sister's grade, whatever. When I was in third grade, Brandon, my boy Brandon, he would do my reading assignment, my homework. I was doing his fourth grade math homework, getting A's on fourth grade math that I have never learned yet. I hadn't even learned it yet.
Yeah.
I never took the class, getting fucking A's on his homework, doing math because math was my shit. Even multiplication, I didn't even learn. I taught myself multiplication.
Oh shit!
I learned it before I learned it.
No, fuck no. I capped off
Like
in seventh grade.
I was good at math. Algebra, like algebra was like okay. I didn't get like too crazy with it. Algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry. Like I was good at all of them, but I didn't apply myself too much in school at the same time. Like I was good at it. It came natural, but I didn't care.
Yeah, that was my issue.
So I wasn't trying to get into calculus and all the fucking rest of them. I was like, I'm not going to say I played into like schooling, but I skipped enough school to make myself look a little dumb. So I played into like, oh, that's kind of hard. Let me go for the easier classes. Like I kind of took the easy way out. I'm not going to lie. When it came to school, I took the easy way out.
Well, I mean, especially when it got to high school. I mean, especially when it got to like junior and senior year.
It was high school that I played myself. Like I could have been, in probably advanced math classes, reading classes. My shit would have been intensive reading, I swear to God. But math, I was good in fucking math. And then so when it got to the college level, for instance, that was fun until like accounting classes really pissed me off because that's not basic math at all. That's stupid fucking. And it's not basic accounting was an easy class. Business accounting was an easy class. It like I don't know what accounting it was. Managerial accounting, is that the one I had struggles with? One of those fucking accounting classes really like made me question, am I good at math? Like what the fuck is this? Because it was more like, that's when like the numbers and letters all come together though. It wasn't algebra, but it was like you have to know where to put shit in spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And that it was more on like the formulas that would confuse me than the actual problem. The problem it could have been my reading skills that fucked me over. I don't know. But yeah, that shit was different.
Nah, anything with math, I was not good at. I mean, I was, like I said, until 7th grade, and then after that, I don't know if I just didn't care, if I just really was not that good at math. But
7th grade was your peak?
Yep, that was the apex of my math. And after that, it was fucking downhill from there. But definitely, I mean, also, like in high school, I just was going through a lot of shit at home. So, like, in my dumb little fucking head, I'm thinking, oh, I'll show you guys. I'm going to do bad in school. Like, I just kept my grades high enough to play football, and that was it. Like, so, like, I don't know, but
I mean, I never factored it to that, but I mean, that's when my parents got separated.
Yeah, no, I know that for sure. I know that for sure because that's when I was having like pretty much I want to say from like 7th, 8th grade to throughout all of high school. Like that was like I had nearly like zero communication with my dad. Like he was not a part of my life at all at that point. And then me and my stepdad were not getting along at all. Like that was probably the peak of our like
hatred.
Yeah, towards
like,
each other. Like,
animosity.
Yeah. So, and then there was just, other things, not that my relationship with my mom was bad, but like, growing up and then being able to look back on those things, you kind of do see where, some of your resentment is and like you start figuring out where it was at and like where it was coming from. And
like why it happened.
Yeah. So that, and, after I graduated and, started living life as like an adult on my own, like
as a man,
I started figuring out like
then you realized later on you were a different man. But.
Yeah, I had a lot of resentment towards a lot of the adults in my life because I feel like they didn't step up like I thought they should. And then at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, am I going to keep on blaming them or am I just going to fucking reconcile that within myself? Like, understand that, especially my parents, like, my mom was telling me this the other day. She's like, when you were 6 years old when I was 29. And like she was talking to me, I'm like, damn, that's fucking wild. Like that is like
it is a wild.
She
thing
had
to think
2
about
kids.
for you.
She had 3 kids already and was divorced once, remarried already. Like by the time she was my age, so it's like that. And like I had already like been through this thought process, especially with my dad and things like that. But it's like, yeah, like, you know, they were growing. We're growing up together essentially. Like I grew up with my parents. My mom and my dad were 16 and 17 when my older sister was born. They were fucking 20 and 20 or 22 when I was born. Like I grew up with my parents. Like they were kids. Yeah. I just saw this thing on Instagram the other day that actually like it was a comedian that's like, I just had a kid. He was a young dude too. He's like, I just had a kid. He's like, I can show him how to walk and eat, but after that, we're growing up together, buddy. Yeah. It's just like, damn, I mean, that's real shit. That
is facts, honestly.
So like, things like that, like that's why like when I talk about like how I grew up, my you know, my upbringing and shit like that, people kind of, I've gotten some looks like, damn, bro, like that's kind of, but it's like in my head, it's like, I mean, how can I stay mad at them? How can I be mad at them? One, because like, again, they were growing up at the same time I was, and 2, like,
I mean, when you look at it from that perspective,
but if I stay mad, that's only gonna affect me. It's not gonna affect. I mean, it's gonna affect my parents, but like, it's not gonna affect them the same.
It would affect the relationship between you,
but it's not gonna like personally and like me like moving on in my life. It's gonna affect me more than it's gonna affect them. And like we talked, I mean, I brought it up. You know, I think the last podcast is like, you know, I know people that hold on to resentment like that, and it just you can see how it weighs people down.
Yeah. It's more like we've definitely talked about it on past episodes, and just to go off of like how we're saying like growing and, you know, becoming different levels of ourselves, different levels of manhood is like, that's one of those things too. You realize you can't put certain shit, even though it might have been their fault entirely. Yeah. You gotta, at a certain point as a man, you kind of just take the blame on your own. You're like, all right, but I could have, and granted you were a kid, so it's not like you're thinking I could have done shit different. But you're just like, I'm not going to hold that against everybody. Yeah, no. Like this, it's in the past, whatever. We all grew from it. Okay, I know how to, and some people turned it into, I know how to address this situation now. I know how to change this. I know how to do that.
Yeah. And that's what I try to do. And like, again, it also plays into like, I'm just also, especially with, you know, people that I really care about and that I love, like, I'm a forgiving person. Like, people make mistakes. Like, there's an incident that happened that, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. My little brother got arrested, and he used, one of the charges was giving a false ID to a cop, and he gave my name.
Like, wrong name, motherfucker.
Well, and he told me about it. You know, eventually he told me about it, and you know, at this point, you know, with his track record, I wasn't really surprised. I didn't really like feel anything towards it. I was just like, well, I mean, you did it, then you didn't do it. And, you know, look where you are now. Like, I'm not going to over here and, like, pile onto you and shit. But then, like, I told a couple people, like, I talked to my dad and my sister about it, and they were both, like, mad for me. And my dad was a little bit more understanding. But when I told my sister, she was, like, super upset and super, you know, you could see that she was, like, very, like, she was kind of getting a little furious to that. I'm just, like, and they're trying to, at this point, it's, like, I mean, it happened. Like, what am I going to do? Like, he did it. Yeah. And then he felt bad about it, and then he recanted his statement and whatever. Yeah, it could have fucked me up if he wouldn't have, and because I have a little bit of a record myself, so it's like it could have fucked me up. But potentially, but like I'm not gonna get mad at what the potential of it was. Yeah. This is what it is now. And nothing happened, so what's the point?
And it's also you being the big brother in that case, being like you had to kind of like listen to him talking and be like, all right, bro, listen, I get it. You shouldn't have done that shit because it wouldn't have came on you. It would have been all on me. But that's kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like our complexion or how we're built, but like I feel like you and me especially, we're known to like, we're willing to take the brunt of a lot of shit. Yeah. We're willing to be like, not the ass of a joke, for instance, but like we're willing to, we can hold more weight. I feel like we've done that a lot.
We're willing to put ourselves out there a little bit more because we know we can handle it essentially, and whatever aspect it is. Like I said, with this, like, you know, my sister was, you know, she was mad, and you know, people said I should stop talking to him. Are you going to continue to keep talking to him? I'm like, yeah, like why not? Like,
I mean, he's still family.
Exactly, and that's exactly how I see it, because there's other situations where I've told people that, you know, there's. Yes, I understand this person might be annoying and what they're doing, you know, might be not beneficial to you, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's our family. Like, what are you going to do? Like, if you do what you have to do, if you feel like you need to stop talking to whoever you need to stop talking to because you feel like it's weighing you down personally, I cannot be mad at you about that. Correct. But I'm also going to have my own opinion on it. And me personally, it's like, again, family, friends, loved ones, you know, once I get that level of love for somebody, it's hard for me to just to step back and be like, okay, well, you know, I'm not even going to talk to you. Like, the least I could do for my little brother is at least give him my words and give him my advice. If he's going to take it, you know, you do what you want with that. I'm not going to, you know, I'm done with the, you know, giving out money and things like that. But, like, I can still give my words. And sometimes, and not even sometimes, to me, words are so much more valuable than a fucking dollar.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, I mean, I would say yes. It all depends on the situation, of course. But I would say it's going to be more beneficial for him than you just throwing him money, because you just throwing him money
or just not talking to him at all
can go right back into the same cycle, right back into the same problem. And that's going off what you said as well. Like, if every relationship is different, of course, but like some people feel like, oh, and it's hard to tell between different relationships. Everyone views it differently. So, for example, like us, and when we care for somebody or when we're friends with somebody and we're willing to talk to them, yeah, we're not willingly telling everyone to, like, if there's someone mooching off you in your life, you know, that's a conversation you guys might need to have.
Set boundaries.
But yeah, set boundaries, and then once you figure out, you know, how you want shit to go, then you kind of move accordingly off that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not, you know, cut the person off completely unless that's what you need to do, because there's people that need that. Yeah. They need a fucking complete silence, complete clean slate, and, like, I get it. If that's what you need.
Well, my brother was one of them. There was one point where, you know, me and him didn't talk for about like 3 years. Yeah. But because it was to the point where I felt like, you know, he's so far gone right now. There's literally nothing I can say at this point. He's got to fall on his face. He did. You know, he's kind of falling down that path again. But to me, from what I see, it seems like he is trying to do better and better himself, and he is trying to go on that path of, like, redemption and shit happen. Like that. Exactly. So it's like, well, you know, before it was a different situation. Now it seems like there is remorse there, and he is trying to do better. Like I said, the least I could do is at least give my words and see if that takes them, you know, to a better place.
And I'm not saying him using your name. I
mean, it's fucked up, but, you know, it's
fucked like, up. But
to me, it's just not a big deal.
At the same time, I mean, I think it's more of like, just because I you know, I've met him. I met your little brother. Yeah. Just knowing, like, and I don't know him that well, but just knowing what I know about him, it was probably more of like a scared what was going to happen to him.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was.
Versus, like, in his mind, he didn't think like, oh, this could fuck up my brother. Yeah. He's just like, oh shit, I need to save my ass. Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like those. It's a fucked up situation, but it's an innocent mistake on, like, it's just the younger kid thinking in my head, I won't get in trouble if I just use my brother's name.
In my head, whether me and him are talking or not, he was gonna do that regardless. Yeah. Like, it had no bearing on whether me and him are in communication or not. Because if we wouldn't have been talking and he got himself in that situation, there's no doubt in my mind he still would have thrown my name out there. But that's also because how he holds me and what regard he holds me and things like that, and how he views me and shit like that. So, like, to me, like, when I'm talking to my family about it or my sister or whatever, and they're telling me, you know, they're mad at me or they're mad at him for me or whatever, it's like, listen, that was going to happen regardless. Rachel telling you this, correct? Yeah. And it was going to happen regardless. Whether we were talking or not, like, you could write this in a million timelines. It was going to happen in 9,999 of those fucking timelines. Like,
and I could see, like, knowing Rachel, I could see why she'd be mad for you. Again,
because that's my older sister.
Again, yeah, I know. It's the same with Isabel. So, like, I get it 100%. Yeah. Rachel, like, I understand why you would.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Listen, and I
understand why you were mad at me for a little bit. Hopefully, it was short lived.
And, like, when she
Your mom still fucks with me about it. But
when we were talking about it, like, I just sat there and let her talk. Yeah. And, like, it's like there's nothing, like, literally, there's nothing I'm gonna say that's gonna change your mind. So just let her get it off. And then,
it's just an older sister thing. What's funny is, like, I fuck with my older sister all the time. That. Like, and I don't mean to do, like, I'm not doing it to pick on her or anything like that, but, like, she'll say certain things. I'm like, all right, mom. Like, I get it. Like, dog, like, bro, I'm telling you as a sibling. Like,
for the longest time, Rachel would not let me curse in front of her. Like, she would get upset at me if I cursed in front of her.
I mean, she was trying to show you, like, there's a better way to communicate.
Well, no, because she was fucking cursing, too. It wasn't to show me.
It was just showing her security.
Because, and I told her one day, it's like, you understand you're my older sister, not my mom, right? And then she got kind of mad at me, but, whatever. We got over it and shit like that.
Yeah, siblings are siblings. At the end of the day, it's like, there's always that dynamic, and there's certain times, too. Like, I mean, my older sister, that is my older sister. Like, I've never tried to, like, big brother her or any type of moments.
Yeah.
There was only one moment in our entire life where she literally came to me and was like, you're acting like the big brother, right? And, like, hugged me and thanked me and stuff. And it was when Cosmo died, her dog. Because I was
Cosmo, bro.
Yeah, that was my boy.
Damn.
That shit was sad. I had to dig a fucking grave for literally. So I've never had a dog of my own. Side note for, like, all the people who ever question, like, those dog, like, when I was like, pets are I still believe that pets are not the greatest investment unless you're financially stable. I wouldn't get a pet, but when you do have a pet, you gotta love the fuck out of them.
The emotional attachment is
you
there.
love the fuck out of them.
Quickly.
So my older sister had a dog named Cosmo, and my younger sister has a dog named Pebbles. I've never had a dog. I've never had a dog of my own. I also took care of my grandfather's dog when he passed away. His dog literally slept under my bed and everything.
Oh, shit.
Slept under my bed and everything. Sierra Yapper.
You said grammar wasn't your fucking best subject.
Grammar? No. Grammar, spelling, out of here. But, so anyways, when Cosmo passed away, sadly, it was me, Isabel, and Olivia. So my older sister and my niece. And, like, there's certain times in a man's life, like, what else are you going to do? You're either going to crumble with them or, like, you got to be the rock to fucking hold everybody together.
Yeah.
So I had to do that. I had to dig a fucking hole. And by the way, to bury a dog, it's not no little fucking shallow grave. It's 3 feet down. Yeah. You got to at least dig 3 feet down or animals will smell them.
Yeah.
So I had to dig. So I was digging. And there was, like, roots and everything where they're picked. I was like, Jesus. So I had to dig this hole. And then I was the one who, like, put Cosmo in. I buried him in a pillowcase. I didn't bury him in like a box or anything. Yeah. Like, I put him in a pillowcase. It was like a nice silk, little wrapping and stuff. But like, I had to do all this. I had to put him in that, in style. So like, it was just. I mean, it was emotional. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I didn't cry because like I definitely cried on my own real quick. Like while I was inside the bathroom putting him in there. But like when I came back outside the bathroom, I wasn't gonna let my niece see me sad or my sister see me sad because they had already been crying because their dog died, Yeah. So like I manned up and fucking all right and fucking went out there and Isabel was literally crying, hugging me and shit, and she was like, "You're acting like the big brother." Like it was one of those weird moments in my life where I was just like holding my niece. I had just dug and then covered the hole, buried the dog, said a few words. Like I was just like, this is a dog funeral saddest day of my life. Yeah,
man, it is. I mean, it is like...
It was crazy. It's crazy to me.
Those moments are kind of surreal. They're like, it's like, oh shit, like, this is life, man. Like,
I'm not, like, I'm pretty, I mean, you've seen it. I mean, people have seen it firsthand. I can get pretty emotional. Like, I'm still like, I'll still hold it together, but I can get like sad.
Of course.
You're a human being. Yeah, there's been very trying times in my life. I've been to, not a happy accomplishment. I've been to a few funerals that have really got to me, like hit deep. Yeah. Like a couple have hit me deeper than my own family because of just how like the connections that were there. And this one, like the pet funeral was a bad one too. But
bro, it's because pets are fucking. They're part of the family, bro. They're part of the family.
People live.
Listen,
people
Bear's
die.
getting old. He's 8 years old now, and I'm starting to because he's a mixed dog too. So it's kind of harder to tell like what their lifespan is. Yeah. He's starting to snore now a little bit, like and it's like, he's just getting older. So
Bear
it's
was
like
pissing me the fuck off yesterday though.
Bro, there's so many ping pong balls. Yeah, there's so many people. He don't know how to act sometimes. It's like people.
No, it was just the ping pong balls in particular because I was worried he was gonna bite it and then we'd be fucked. So I was like,
out of a ping pong ball.
I fucking sucked at beer pong yesterday though. So.
Yeah, what's new? No.
I'm streaky. All right.
I was undefeated yesterday. I won all games.
No, you didn't.
Except one. You're fucking right. Damn it.
Yeah.
I got to redeem myself.
My girlfriend whipped his ass.
Yeah, she really did, too. Like, it was not even close. Like, I had like 4 cups left. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm not proud of it. She beat us twice. She beat me twice. Nah,
like,
but.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, beer pong was not my shit. I'm very streaky with beer pong. And yesterday, I was hitting shots, but, like, I couldn't close. Like, I needed Jordan to step up a little bit.
Nah.
But.
Didn't happen.
But he was carrying me in the first game, so it was like it was a hit or miss. Like we were both shitty that day, but usually if I'm drunk, I am the shit. But I couldn't get that way.
No, I wasn't. You had to drive.
Yeah, I had to drive.
Yeah,
you live kind of deep.
Yeah, kind of deep. It's like I mean, it's guaranteed. Even if I were to leave like at fucking 11 from here, it's like a 30-minute drive at least.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's with no traffic. That's 11 at fucking night.
It's 30-minute drive, no traffic. With traffic, it's like 37,
So
38.
imagine when I'm trying to get over here, it's like, yeah, let's meet at 6:30. I got to leave at like 5:20 to get here because that's like a 45-minute drive.
Traffic,
And because there's really no shortcuts. Like I take I either go all the way down to go all the way down 434 or take I-4 to 436 on Altamont, and that's fucking a fuck show in and of itself. So, yeah, man. But growing up is a fucking motherfucker. Feeling like you're getting old and realizing that, you know, time doesn't fucking wait up for anybody, and you're starting to have to step into roles that you're not necessarily used to is definitely an eye-opener. And I think the last time I went up to Jacksonville, me and my dad, you know, we were talking and shit like that and things, and like it got to the point where it's like, damn, I was 28. I'm about to be 29. I'm still a fucking
about to be 29
at that time.
Okay. I was just like,
yeah, no, but it's like, bro, we're still fucking babies. We don't know fucking shit. Like, it's wild. My dad's turning 50 this year, and it's like just the things that we were talking about and shit like that. It just was like, damn, I don't know jack shit yet. Like,
that's true.
I'm still a fucking baby face killer in the game of life. I hope that's interesting over there.
It was some funny shit. I got sent. Look at these 2 photos. This is Brandon's wedding. Look at these 2 photos. What do you see? Not you. Exactly. So I was like, so I'm fucking texting back when I was like, yo, fat ass head. Bitch ass. That shit's funny as fuck.
Damn. Incognito. It's like you were never there. But yeah, man. All in all.
So I'm fucking with them. I was like, damn, y'all cut out the star. Wasn't even my day.
But all in all, I feel like this year is going to be, although
I feel like it's going to be a great year for you.
You know.
Might be your gold year too.
It might be. I mean, it's gotten off to a little rocky start, but.
Maybe not the full golden year, but this year, I predict for you, it's going to be a fucking hell of a year. It's going to be a very blessed year. I think we're going to make some fucking crazy moves.
Sure hope so.
No hangover.
I sure fucking hope so.
Y'all watch out. No hangovers making some crazy moves. Eric's other business. I'm not going to give you all any names yet. It's going to make some crazy moves.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
I see it coming for you, man.
Yeah,
I really do.
I mean, that one is, in particular, like that does not.
No, I see both, buddy.
Listen, okay, I'm just gonna be like, my other business venture, I feel like is more foolproof. This one is the one where I'm kind of like, well, because listen, but just
I got in this argument with Helen, by the way.
Huh?
I got in this argument with Helen.
This exact one.
Go ahead.
But the way I see it,
she went with Amazon more foolproof, and I said no.
Well, the thing
we were
is,
talking about it on a different scale.
My thing is that with the other business venture that I'm going on, which I will in due time announce it, but that is a service that you're providing. And to me, when you're providing a service, it really is up to the work that you put in. And like, it's kind of like, to me, like kind of like construction and things like that. Like, it is more hands-on. Like, you can control a lot of what's going on. With this, you know, we can talk and think that we have good conversation, but if people don't listen to us, then, you know, it's only going to go so fucking far. Like it just like the other one is just I feel like a little bit more solid, a little bit more. This is what I'm providing. This is what I can give to you here. Like it's just more like cut and dry. Yeah. This is a little bit more gray area because we might think we have a good conversation, but like if people don't like listening to us, then it doesn't matter how good we think we are. Then
the conversation was similar to this, but the only thing that was different was I was like, if I were to win, for example, $1 million, like I said, if I were to win the lottery. I was like, all of my businesses would take off. And she was like, what about the podcast? And I was like, I hear you, but listen, if you are rich, it's a lot easier to make shit happen.
Yeah, because you can throw more money into it.
Correct. And the same logic I used. I was like, because our equipment is great. I don't know if y'all knew this our equipment is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, we do need to get new arms.
Yeah. We have little minor details. We change up the set, stuff like that.
Which also, hey, if anybody listening does bar lights or anything like that, let us know because we want to get a no hangover bar light for this shit.
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
We could get a little glass tempered thing. Hit that guy up. But so yeah, I was going back and forth with her. I was like, listen, if you have the money to throw into it, first off, you just go. A millionaire talks to another millionaire. Hey, trying to be on my podcast? All of their you don't have to have a following at all. If you're
especially with social media, like if you put money into your Instagram and things like that, you could advertise your reels and things like that, boost your reels, get followers. I mean, you can even buy Instagram accounts that people have already built up to 10K, 20K, 100K followers, and you just buy that. You delete all their content and put your content on there, and then you have their audience. So. But like I said, to me, when you're selling a service, it's a lot easier for me, in my eyes at least, to, make it happen for yourself because you're providing a service. With this isn't a service. This is entertainment. So if we entertain you and you like us, that's one thing. But, entertainment is so, subjective to different people. Someone that might find us hilarious, the next person might be like, these guys are fucking dumb as shit. Like, they don't know jack shit.
And if you think that, run it. What's good?
Give me about 2 months so that I can get out of this fucking cast.
Okay, if you want to run it, get same night. I'll beat all your asses. I'll be like some fucking 6'5" yoked motherfucker. Like, all right, bitch, you want
kick him in the shins?
Nah, that's the thing. Like people think. People think size matters.
It does. Let's not get it twisted.
It plays into it. Okay,
it does matter.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Not the whole thing, but it does matter.
Plays into it because, I'm not gonna lie, a fucking huge dude, that'd be a fucking tough fight.
At a certain point, yeah, I mean.
But it also is like if they're fucking coordinated or not. There's a lot of things that play into it.
Yeah, skill does go into it, but at a certain point, like.
Yeah, weight classes do matter. Yeah. Like.
You can hit somebody, and if they don't feel it, and it's like, okay, well, not really much I can do from there. Yeah. Like,
for instance, like we get into this like or not even argument. We get into this discussion all the time.
Debate.
Because like I'd be fucking around and saying like, oh, we could all fight we fuck around and say we could fight in the UFC. In reality, we know like these are trained professionals. Like
they've been training since we lads.
Yeah, they fucking fuck us up real quick, make slight work of us.
Yeah,
but we like to talk anyways. But weight class wise. Well, who do you think? You think you take like a 125? Like, you think anyone's gonna whip your ass?
Bro, I'm gonna say this. I like when I go to visit my sister in Jersey, I go with her fiance to like do because he does jujitsu and shit like that. Bro, there was a dude that he was like 145 and
sunning people.
Bro, he sunned me.
Yeah. Like, all right. Well, then there you go.
Listen, if
145 and up.
In jujitsu, if because that's a technique.
That's
now,
grappling.
If it was just a straight fucking fight,
street fight.
If it was a straight fight, I think I would have. I think I'll take my chances with that.
Yeah.
But in straight jujitsu, like like he took me to fucking town.
It's an art.
Yeah,
form,
the first time that I went against him was my very first round, so I held my own because I had fucking. But like after like 3 rounds in, we would switch partners every time. My 4th time around, I went back to him, bro. He made fucking light work of me. I was, I was just trying to fucking stay alive.
It's the conditioning too. I mean, the conditioning is different. Like people don't understand. I don't think like how hard wrestling / jiu-jitsu really is.
Yeah.
Like we went to, you went to one. I went to both fucking free classes we went to. Holy fuck! I'm talking dripping.
Well, I've been to other jiu-jitsu classes, but like that, that one in particular, I only went to the first one.
I went to 2 because the first day I got a fucking black eye. Like they fucking the one dude tipped the other guy the wrong
Yeah,
way.
it was kind of a small.
That was a fucking way too small area. But
fucking
it was cool.
dojo, whatever the
cool.
fuck you want to call it.
I want to go to the one right here in the Jeremiah's Plaza. I've been dying to go to that one, honestly.
I didn't even know there was one.
There's a lot of shit in there. There's the laundromat I go to, right? The
There's
car wash
there's still
place I
that
go
Cuban
to.
restaurant in there?
No.
No.
Well, there is a Cuban restaurant, but the one it was sold. So
I
it's
used
still
to
a Cuban
go there. I
restaurant.
used to go to that one with my grandparents a lot.
Yeah, she sold it.
Damn.
Oh.
They had good cooking food.
They did. Because for instance, then she went to like just window after COVID and stuff, just outdoor window. But then they sold the restaurant, and now it's full, open again, right next to the Aldi. But there's a jiu-jitsu place in there, a tattoo place in there. There's a fucking dispensary in there.
I didn't know there was.
Yeah,
damn.
Exactly. Jeremiah's is in that
Well,
bitch. A car wash is in that place.
Yeah.
Subway. Like I said, Aldi. I didn't count it here.
There's that little
laundromat. There's that one sidebar way at the fucking end. There's Boston Market. There's that plaza's got a lot of shit. If y'all know the area, that's Aloma and fucking Forsyth. It's right fucking. I'm not gonna say where I am, but it's very close. Very close. It's a couple miles away.
Oh shit! But yeah, man.
A couple baseball throws. I'll say that.
A couple baseball throws. Oh,
Granted, I am delusional, so
I was about to say.
I said
Jesus
a couple.
Christ. Throw it over the mountains. Right?
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like
Rico over here.
Warm up.
Oh fuck.
That's funny.
Well,
what?
Yeah, man. Fucking life. It's a fucking doozy. It'll fucking knock you the fuck down, but it's up to you.
The highest highs and the lowest lows.
It's up to you to fucking get back up, make it worth something. So, with that being said, I think we'll wrap this one up. Keep it nice and short. You got any last words there, Bucko, before we sign off?
154. One to remember.
It's the start of something fucking beautiful. We're gonna fucking take this to the fucking moon. And yeah, everybody love everybody.
Take Rocket Man.
Oh shit, yeah. Everybody love everybody, and we will see y'all next week. Deuces.
Peace.